I didn't shout. I didn't punch a wall. I didn't ask for an explanation. I simply grabbed my keys, stepped outside, and never looked back. Maybe that's what truly shook them. They didn't get the explosion they had braced for. No pleading for answers. No desperate attempt to hold on to something they had already shattered without care. I made it simple for them to be together, and even simpler for myself to vanish. We had shared 5 years as husband and wife, 7 years as a couple. She was the person I believed I'd grow old with, and he was my own flesh and blood, my brother. But both ties were broken, not by a dramatic event, but by quiet betrayal typed out in the glow of midnight screens. It started subtly. She laughed more easily when he was around. There were inside jokes I never understood. Midnight notifications with his name lighting up her phone. I tried to ignore it. After all, he was family. She was my wife. I convinced myself they were just close, that their bond was innocent. Nothing more than familiarity. But instinct is rarely wrong. And once suspicion is planted, it grows wild. The night it all fell apart, her phone was resting on the couch. She was in the kitchen, laughing at something I didn't find amusing anymore. I hadn't meant to check, but I did. Maybe I had to. I opened their conversation and began scrolling. What I found wasn't harmless. It hadn't been for quite some time. There were shared moments captured in those messages, ones I had never lived, plans to meet while I was away at work, jokes about the things they kept hidden from me, words that should never leave the mouth of a married woman, especially when sent to her husband's brother. And then I saw the message that ended it all. It's easier pretending around him when I know it's you I really want. I closed the chat, returned the phone exactly where I found it, and climbed the stairs. She was brushing her hair, smiling at me through the mirror like nothing had changed. And I remember thinking, she doesn't even realize she's already lost me. I didn't ask her anything. I didn't demand the truth. I didn't want apologies. I wanted space. I packed a small bag, just clothes, my wallet, passport, and left my wedding ring on the table. Then I walked out. No arguments. No farewells. I didn't even call my parents. They'd learn soon enough. That night, I checked into a rundown hotel, sat on the edge of the bed, and stared at the wall, waiting for rage. But it never came. All I felt was a cold, hollow ache, a crushing weight of disappointment that drowned everything else. They didn't just lie. They didn't just betray me. They chose each other over me. The next week, I left town. New city, new job, a fresh start. I didn't block them, but I never responded either. The texts arrived. The calls followed. Even emails from mutual friends checking in. But I wasn't ready to talk. Sometimes, surviving means breaking silently and healing loud. A year passed. I rebuilt my life. I found clarity. The pain didn't disappear, but I no longer carried it around. And just when I thought that story was done, someone knocked at my door. I wasn't expecting anyone, but when I opened it, there they were, my ex-wife and my brother, standing side by side, like strangers who weren't sure what to say. She looked thinner. He looked older. Both of them wore the weariness of consequences, catching up. I didn't say a word, just stood in the doorway with my arms folded. She spoke first. I know we don't deserve to be here, but we had to see you. I didn't respond. Didn't invite them in. Then he stepped forward. I messed up, man. I lost my brother. And for what? Nothing. I looked at him, not with anger, just emptiness. Then her voice cracked. We're not together anymore. Everything fell apart. And I realized too late what I destroyed. The silence stretched like a canyon between us. She shifted her weight. He stared at the ground. They were looking for something. Forgiveness, maybe closure, perhaps a glimpse of the man I used to be. But I wasn't that man anymore. I looked at her and said, if things hadn't crumbled, you wouldn't be here now. Her eyes welled up. She swallowed hard. Then I turned to him. You didn't just lose a brother. You gave up the right to call me family. He tried to speak again, but I stepped back. Take care of yourselves. That's all I've got left. And I closed the door. No shouting. No drawn-out goodbye. No tears. Just the quiet sound of final decision. They left slowly, carrying the full weight of the choices they made. I stayed behind the door, letting the silence wash over me. And for the first time since they broke me, I felt something stronger than pain. Peace. Because that night, I didn't just leave them behind. I walked back toward myself. And that changed everything.